All right. So any ideas?
So 2.5 times 1,000.
Come again.
So 2.5 times 1,000.
2.5. Okay, so you basically you're gonna work. So what you could probably do. Okay, I understand what you say. Because 10 to the 3 is 10 times 10 times, which is 1,000, and then what? 10 square. 10 square is also 100. And basically you could just work with the whole thing and then convert everything to a standard form. But another way of doing this is what you could probably do is to so remember you're gonna have your calculators with you, right? So what is this, class? What
2,500.
2,500?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And what is this?
150.
150. All right. And what's the sum of those two numbers?
2,650.
2,650. So basically, when you get this now, you convert this now in what? In standard form. All right. Now, what is standard form again? It's any number between what? 1 and 10 multiplied by 10 to a certain power. All right. So in other words, where would I put where would I put a decimal point to make 2,650 becomes 1 and 10?
Between 2 and 6 to
All right,
10
between 2
to
and
be
6. All right. If I put it between 6 and 5, that's 26.5, which is more than 10. If I put it in front of the 2, that's 0.2, which is less than 1. So the best place to put it is between the 2 and the 6. So the answer is 2.65 times 10.
10
So
to the
because
3.
I'm going 0, 1, 2, 3, I went 3 places to the left. It's actually plus 3. All right. You want to get that?
Yes, sir.
You
Yes,
guys remember?
sir.
You guys remember what in grade 10, or I don't know if it's grade 10. Well, in grade 10, when I said that this is probably the only case when you go left, you get a positive value. Normally, when we go left, it's a negative. Not true. Right. All right. Can I clear this? Can I move on?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. So let's look at another. All right. Suppose you have something like this. All right. What would you do? Hold on. Let me change a little. Change this. Oh, let's stay. Let's stay. How would you work that out? What would you do first?
So changing the mixed fraction to an improper fraction.
Well, yes, correct. You can convert this to a this mix down here so to an improper. So this will give us what? 5, 2 2 is what? 4. 4 plus 1 is 5. So it's gonna be
5 over
5 over 2. All right. So after that, what do we do?
So do we work out the top or do we change
Right.
the
Very good. We work out the top piece first. That's true. So when we work, how do we work out the top piece?
and the LCM?
Unfortunately, no, you know.
Our command, let me remember.
What are we
Cross
doing?
multiplication.
Right, we're multiplying, not true. So when we're multiplying, what do we do? We cancel and then multiply across, that's true.
Yes, right.
Only when we're adding and subtracting, we find LCM. All right. But can anything be canceled?
No.
No, sir.
Sir.
Then we just what? Go across, not true? Multiply across. So 2 1s and 3 5s.
15.
So then we have 2 or 15. All over 5 over 2. What do we do next?
So we change the division bar to one multiplication sign.
All right, cool. Well, I think probably the best thing to is to rewrite
Yeah,
that.
to the division sign.
Right. So then now we have 2 over
15
times
2 over 5.
2 over 5. But can anything be cancelled there?
No, sir.
No.
Okay.
So then we multiply across again, not true? So before, what's 5 times 15?
75.
75. All right, so I just made up this question a while ago here. So usually something is usually to cancel. All right, any questions?
No, sir.
All right. All right, look at this question. So Mark bought an item for, let us say, let me use some simple numbers, say 5,000. So if the value of the item depreciates by 10% each year, what is its value at the end of 2 years? Any ideas?
So what did you say?
I'm saying any ideas of how to work with this question?
So this a simple interest or something?
Well, it didn't state simple interest. It states depreciates. Usually what usually comes what is usually in coincides with that word, depreciation? Appreciation, not true? Or compound interest.
Yes, yes.
Right. So what you're going to do is say there's a formula, you know, but you see, because it's 2 years, you don't have to use a formula. What you can probably do is to find 10% of 5,000. So in year 1, you find 10% of 5,000. All right. What's 10% of 5,000? It's 10 over 100 times 5,000, true? What is that?
500.
It's 500. So in other words, $500 come off of the 5,000 at the end of year one. So the value of the item would be 5,000 subtract what? 500, which is 4,500. So year two now. So it says each year, you know. So each year, 10% come off of the value, not true? So you're gonna find 10% now. 10% of what?
4,500.
4,500.
Exactly. 10% of the current value of the item. So you're not gonna find 10% of the 5,000. It says 10% of 4,500, which is 10 over 100 times 4,500. Which is 450. So at the end of year two, the value of the item with the difference of those two numbers. What's the difference between 4,500 and 450?
4,050.
5,000.
4,000 and
50.
all right. So that's the answer. Any questions?
No, sir.
All right. Now suppose it didn't say depreciation. Suppose it was compound interest. You wouldn't subtract. You'd what? You'd add. Right. So you do the same thing, but you just keep on adding the money. All right. Are we clear?
See.
All right. Do I need to work this out, or you're good? If it was compound interest, do you want me to work it out, or you're good?
Yeah, be good.
All right. So basically, just put a plus there. You see what I'm saying? Put a plus there. You know, and then you'd put anywhere it's a minus. You put what? A plus. All right. Okay. All right. Let's look at some basic wage. All right. So let us say the basic wage of a mechanic the basic wage of a mechanic is the basic wage of a mechanic for a 40-hour week is $20,000. Is that a reasonable pay? No, not true. Let's make it 50 grand. That sounds better, not true?
Yes, sir.
All right.
So,
Find the basic rate. So what's the basic rate now? So this is what he earns a week, okay, for 40 hours. So what would be the basic rate? Like how much money how much money would he get per hour? What we have to do?
divide
Divide what?
the 50,000 by 40 hours.
Right, divide the 50 grand by what? By 40. All right, and what is that?
1,250.
1,750.
250. 1,250.
Okay, 1,250 per hour.
Yes, sir.
Everybody get that?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, this mechanic, he does overtime. So he does overtime. Now, overtime is 1.5 or 1.5 the basic rate. What is the basic rate? How much money earn what? Per
1,200.
hour. But guess what? I'm do overtime, right? And them say, you know something? Because we're doing overtime, we're gonna put some more money on it. Because we're robbing you of your family time and time that you could spend resting. So the question says, calculate overtime for 10 hours. How would you do that?
So that's why how much you work, how much money you get to do 10 hours first and then you add the overtime time.
No, you wouldn't add it on. You not times it. So in other words, overtime, you see? Overtime wage would be the overtime factor. The overtime factor would be what? 1.5 multiplied by how much hours in work, which is 10, multiplied by the what? The basic rate, which is what? 1,250. Can you compute that?
$18,750.
Say that again?
18,750.
18,750. Any questions? You guys following? All right.
Can you repeat the last part, please?
All right. So basically, let us say that this mechanic works overtime, right? Meaning that it work beyond contracted hours. So basically, overtime, they give you an extra or a bonus on the rate that you normally work. So in this case, overtime is time and a half. Time and a half is same thing as 1.5. And that's going to be 1.5 times your basic rate. Now, let us say you work 10 hours for the week overtime. All right. Let's say you work
Yes,
10
sir.
hours for the week. So therefore, what you're going to do is to multiply the overtime factor, which is 1.5, times the total number of hours worked, times the basic rate. Which is 18,750. And it makes sense, don't you? I mean, if you work 10 hours extra, that is what you normally do. You just multiply the 10 times how much you normally get, and if they put a bonus on it, you just times it by whatever bonus it is. All right?
Yes, sir.
Come on. All right, look at this question. Calculate the total wage wages earned by the mechanic for a 60, no, for a 57-hour week. Any ideas?
Sir, about ECM, ICM, something we do.
It's a combination of part one and part two. All right. What is the person's normally work hours? How much hours should the person work per the week?
40.
40, not true. So that means if you subtract 40 from 57, what do you get?
17.
You get 17, not true.
Yes, sir.
What does this 17 represent?
How much
Extra
hours
hours.
you have left?
Come again.
Much hours you have to work extra.
Right, very good. This would have been his what? Overtime.
Overtime.
So you are going to know. So for a 40-hour work week, right? How much you earn?
Sir, by hour or fee 40. Oh, 50 grand.
50, not true. Because I'm telling you, basic wage for a mechanic for 40 hours is what? 50,000. So basically what we need to work out is basic wage. Well, we already it was already worked out, don't you? Plus is what? Overtime what? Wage. No, is overtime wage would be like this part here. So overtime is time and a half, correct? How much
Yes.
hours you work overtime?
17.
Right. Multiply by what? Is basic wage. Sorry, it's basic rate, which is what? 12.50.
So you say all family them go there and the sir.
No.
Eh,
So what is the product? What is the product of all these numbers here?
Um, 31,875.
31,875.
25.
Yes, sir.
All right. So so this is what he earns over time. Plus what? So how much money collect? How much money collect at the end of the first week? It will be overtime money plus is what?
basic wage.
Basic wage.
Which is what? 50 grand. All right. Which I believe is what? 81,000.
875.
Right. So it's 81,800 and what? 75. So this is what he works for the week in total. Can I move on?
Yes, sir.
All right. All right, so simple interest. So let us say the rate at a bank or a credit union is say 9%. All right, and you make a deposit. You make a deposit, so your deposit would be your principal, not true? Of say 50,000. For 18 months. Oh boy. If so, the time would have been 18 months. So what's the formula for simple interest?
Time or seven about getting the correct order and what
Ten.
10 times 8 times 25.
Well, isn't PRT?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
That's over 100, don't you?
Yes, yes.
Sometimes this can be shuffled around, not true, depending on what they're asking for. Remember?
Yes.
Right. You can get three more formulas from this, depending on what they're asking for. So the principal is 50,000. Oh, the question says what would have been the simple interest? So it's 50,000.
So you can go back and see question, please.
Oh, no, this is I didn't really actually wrote a question. I was just like discussing the question. So
Oh,
yeah, so the idea was what if you want to find a simple interest at a bank when you deposit $50,000 at 9% per annum for 18 months. So what is a simple interest? So we're going to use the simple interest formula. So it'd be 50,000 times the rate, which is a percentage, times the time, which is 18 months. So here's the tricky part. Time is always in years. So what is 18 months as a year in years?
1 year and 6 months. I don't know if you make it 6 in a 1 day.
All right, 12 months make you a year, right? Correct?
Yes, sir.
So what we have to do? Divide by what?
12.
By 12, right? So it's 18 divided by 12. What's 18 divided by 12?
Oh, 1.5.
1.5. Then suppose all right, why is 24 months 2 years? Because
12 times 2 are 24. And 12 months like 1 year.
all right, you could reason it that way, but you could also say 24 divided by what? By 12. Not true. Divided by 100. So these two will go away. So multiply 500 times 9 times 1.5, and that will give you the answer.
$6,750.
Come again?
6,750.
6,750. No. Any questions? No, at any given financial institutions, they always charge a processing fee. Whenever you're making a deposit, or whenever you're doing something, or making a big deposit or something like that. Or you're doing some investment, or you're doing some loan thing or something. All right. Let us say they charge a processing fee of $2,000. Calculate this fee as a percentage of the money deposited. Calculate this fee as a percentage of the money originally deposited. What amount of which money was originally deposited?
50,000, sir.
50,000. In other words, we want to work out the percentage in which they charge. All right. So well, I mean, the processing fee is 2,000, right? So it's be how do we find a percentage of anything?
Divided by 100.
No, you know. It's the other way around.
Sir, multiply.
You multiply by 100. So it will be, so the fee, the processing fee, which is 2,000, as a percentage of the money deposited, which is what, 50 grand? So that is how it will look. So the processing fee as a percentage of the money deposited. You get that? So this will go and then that will go 5 into 5 goes 1, 5 into 10 goes what, 2, 2 is what, 4. So the answer is what, 4%. So the processing fee, the percentage fee that they charge for to do this transaction is 4%. All right. Any questions?
No, sir.
All right. You know what it feels like? It feels like when we're online, it just feels like it was like a year ago. It's actually a year ago, but it just feels like that you're in grade 9 when I was teaching you that, but now you're in grade 10. It just seems like really, really long time ago. All right, let's look at some foreign exchange. And I believe, after this, we'll call it a day. So next class, which is, I'm not sure what time tomorrow, but I'll let you know. We'll look at some measurement, all right, and some algebra. And those are topics that would have been doing recently. All right, let us say US $1. What anybody know what is it now? What's $1 to Jamaica? Nobody knows?
Sir, 148.
Let's call it 150. All right, now let us say you're on vacation, right? Let us say you go America, right? And you use a credit card. And you guys know you can do that, right? You can as a matter of fact, you can do that right here in Jamaica, not true? You can actually use your Jamaican card and purchase things in US overseas because of the chip card thingy, the Visa thing. So if you have a ATM card and Visa or MasterCard is marked on it, you can purchase items from overseas using your Jamaican card. Did you know that? All right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. So let's say you go to America, right? And you use a credit card and you buy some clothes. All right. And so you buy some items. I don't know. For $300. All right. How much Jamaican is this? Well, that's easy, not true? What are you gonna do? Don't let this word throw you off, you know.
Times
Yeah, those times 150
by 300.
by 300. And what is that?
45,000.
45,000.
Yes, sir.
Remember that whenever doing foreign exchange, always put the country beside it, the number here. No, did you know that a credit card has a limit?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right. So let us say the credit card limit is 100 grand. All right. So remember, him using credit card to buy the items, that's true. So the question is, how much money in US does he have on the card? Any ideas?
So you're subtracting
Sir,
100,000 and then came back to US.
Right. And now you're wanting we ask.
Sir, I'm not
sir,
sure.
100,000 divided by 150.
Let me repeat the question again, right? So here you go America, right? So imagine you go to America, right? And you have a credit card, right? You use a credit card and buy some items. Everything come up to about 300 US. All right. How much Jamaica is that? Jamaican money is that? 45,000. Now your credit card limit is 100 grand. How much money in US does he or she have on the card?
Sir, $666.
600 and
So you go minus the 45,000 from the 100,000.
Aye, yeah, because you remember say the card you use, how much money on the card? 100 grand. And you use the card and you buy 45,000. So you are going to say go subtract the 45,000 from the 100 grand, which is how much?
55 again.
Right. And this money is in what?
Jamaican dollar.
Jamaican dollar. So if I want this in US, what do I have to do? Divide it by what?
Divided by 150.
By 150. And how much is that?
$366.
$366. Boy, it means you can't to spend nothing more on it, not true? So this is what you'll have left. All right. Ladies, we're gonna end class here.
Yes,
Okay,
plan done.
All right. So I'll tell you